So we defend Jack 6 offsuit pre-flop. I think that's fine. We check the flop, he checks back. Turn is 5 of clubs. I think we can bet for value / protection here. He can call with flush draws and straight draws, and if he folds a hand with 2 overcards, that would be pretty good for us. We check, he bets 90. I think we can put him on a mix of turned draws and some medium strength hands that check the flop, mostly 9x. So yeah, we have to call. And river is a 4. It's a pretty decent card. Like, it doesn't complete any of the obvious draws, and the draws that do get there are like 3 deuce and 7-3, but we're not really concerned with him having those hands. Like, people usually don't raise those hands pre-flop, and when they do, they're also the kind of player to be c-betting a wide range on the flop. So yeah, this is kind of dicey. Value hand I can put him on is 6-5, 9-5. I don't think he's gonna bet just a bear 9 here, so because there are only a few combos I can put him on that make sense. Even if we add some weirdly played sets or 7-8 that didn't bet the flop, I still think he has enough like missed clubs and straight draws, or even just like random bluffs that decided to go for a double barrel because we showed some weakness. So yeah, good call. And he did have a missed club draw. So yeah, I liked how you played that hand, except that I would probably just bet the turn myself and then check call the river on this river, I mean. So we open queen 3 offsuit, which is fine. We see bet the flop, which is a bit loose, but still okay, I guess. I'd probably just give up here, I think, given that we've seen he's kind of like capable of bluffing, and he just lost like a third of his stack in the first hand, so I might let this one go. Yeah, it's kind of like, do we really want to try and bluff this guy? Yeah, I guess on this particular card, that's a good enough spot that we should take it. We have a blocker to queen 10, and we have a gutter, so given the king is a scare card for all his 1-pair hands, I think we should fire again. And I would probably fire like 210. I don't want to induce anything with my bet sizing. And yeah, I think if we bet like a little bit over 200, it seems less like we're bet folding, which is what we're doing. And yeah, he raises us, and I don't think we have the odds to call with just our gutter. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I think the turn bet is fine. He limps and we check back 5-3. Yeah. I like leading here. I think he's gonna have enough hands in his range that can't continue, and we have a gutter, which is great. He calls, so he can have club draws, he can have gutters like queen 10 or 5-4. So the turn is another ace, and this is kind of a decent card to continue on. I think we can be betting for value here with a hand like Queen Jack, and we will have some aces in our pre-flop range. Like, the game flow isn't really great for that because he just caught us bluffing like the previous hand, but I think with 5 high and a gutter we can go ahead and bet here, and we do get a fold, which is sweet. Raise king 9 looks good. We decided to check back the flop on the 5-4-3 rainbow. I think I would just c-bet. It misses a lot of his range and we should take it down a lot. I don't think he plays a lot of like deuce 6 or like deuce 5 combos here, and yeah, I think he should be check folding enough. Turn goes check check. I think I usually just call here. Let's see what you do. Okay. You go for some thin value, trying to like own him, and I'm not sure that I like it. I mean, whatever, it's okay. Yeah, he just folds. So yeah, it's possible that this guy has some bet sizing tells, given he min bet the river there. Like, I don't expect him to have a pure bluff there. I think he had some sort of like middle pair or something that just couldn't call a raise. Like, I expect to have the best hand there like 90% of the time. I'm just not sure what he calls when we raise. Like, maybe it would have been better to just min raise, but yeah, like I said, I think your play was okay. So we flat a min raise at like 13 big blinds. Yeah, 14 big blinds actually. And then on the flop we face a pretty small c-bet and decide to just rip it. I think our play on the flop should be to call. I don't expect him to c-bet this flop very light. We've seen him check back air in the first hand, where he picked up the club draw later. So I actually think that shoving here is a mistake. Like, you should really pay attention to who you're playing and the board texture too. Like, versus someone who c-bets blindly on every flop, then yeah, with 320, like, let's see, with 435 already in the pot and like only 860 behind, we don't need a lot of fold equity here. So jamming against this type of player becomes fine. But yeah, given what we know, I think on this board texture we will be facing like a stronger than average range, and yeah, fortunately for us we do have our 2 pair outs live, but we don't ping them. Checking back here looks fine. I think we can stab this flop again, even if he figures out that we don't have an ace, it doesn't really mean that he's gonna play back at us. We decide to check, and he checks back. We pick up a gutter and we fire the turn. I think that's fine. He's already shown us that he can be checking back some air, and we should have some fold equity here for sure. And I think I would just give up here. I don't think he will give us credit for yeah, I think given how the match has been going so far, if he has a bluff catcher here, like if he checked back flop with like 10-7 and then called the turn, I really don't see him folding this hand. And if he called with like a draw like 5-6 or just a 5 like a gutter, then he obviously got there. Like there are not many hands that call the turn and missed the river, so we're mostly trying to get him off like showdown value that he called the turn. So yeah, I would probably give up, but your bluff seemed to have worked, so that's cool. Seems pretty standard so far. And yeah, he checks back again. I think it's pretty clear by now that he's checking back air on dry boards, so I will be firing this turn, intending to go all in on many rivers. We check, which I don't like. He takes a small stab, and yeah, I think we should be raising here. I'm not sure that I want to raise all in though. Maybe make a smaller raise and shoving, and then shoving river has more value. There are basically no draws on the flop except diamonds, which we block. So yeah, I think I like raising here. Yeah, I mean, shoving it is okay. I think I would just prefer like a smaller raise and then jam river. Looks good. Standard. Yeah, I don't mind the limp here. And this is just a standard stab, and he folds. Unfortunately, no action for pocket tens. Raise king 9, that's good. We see about the flop, that's good. He raises, and we have queen jack. Yeah, I like just calling here. Like against more frequent like openers, you can just jam here, but I think calling is fine. Oops. Yeah, I mean, calling is okay, raising is okay. Given that he has like a pretty strong c-betting range so far, I think calling is fine. We make a flush, turn goes check check. We should have the best hand here, like 95% of the time. And yeah, I think small bet is fine. This way we make sure we get called by like non-flush bluff catchers, like if he has like king deuce or something like that. Our other option is to bet bigger, so he calls with all flushes and folds like all his like non-flush bluff catchers. But yeah, since his hand is probably pretty weak and our hand looks a lot like a flush, then I think betting kind of small is fine. So looks like the blinds went up, so we're kind of short now. We limp pre-flop with queen 5. I think that's a pretty good play given the blinds. Our opponent checks the flop. I think this is a pretty easy bet. I don't know why we're checking here. Like, even if we have the best hand a lot, I still think that we don't want to let him realize his equity. Like, any two cards have like 25% equity against you, which is like in a 240 chip spot. That's like actually quite a bit of equity, so I would just bet and try to win. And yeah, as it is, he only had like one live card, but yeah, usually he would have two. Yeah, we're pretty short now. We need to get this in, and we're flipping. Flip, we lose. Okay. Yeah, standard open shove here. This is a pretty standard shove for value. He folds, which is fine. Yeah, that's pretty standard too. And we get it in pretty good. That's kind of a weird call. And we win. That's good, 2 out of 2. So anyway, thank you guys for watching the video, and yeah, until next time, good luck at the tables.